Hi friends, myself K. Lakshmi, Assistant Professor in the Department SNH Chebrolu Engineering College, Class 6. Topic: Introduction about diffraction and types of diffraction. The word diffraction is derived from Latin word diffractus, which means to break to pieces. As we previous discussion in interference chapter, wave nature of the light is explained. Similarly, this diffraction is also one of the property of light, and it also explain or confirm the wave nature of the light. Further, when waves are encounters the obstacle, they bend around the edges of an obstacle. In this case, the dimensions of the obstacle are comparable to the incident wavelength. Simply, a diffraction means bending of waves around the edges of an obstacle is called as the diffraction. So, the clear evidence of diffraction in our everyday life, some examples are there. When you observe the CD or any DVD, there are a rainbow pattern of colors. These rainbow pattern of colors are formed due to diffraction grating. And also, when you observe a book or debit card, there is a halogram lines. These halogram lines are colorful, and this pattern is formed due to the phenomena of diffraction of light. And the diffraction phenomena is also observed in atmosphere. Whenever in the atmosphere there is a small particles causes the bright ring to be visible around the sun or moon. These are the some examples which are occurring due to the phenomena of diffraction. Before we discussing about the diffraction and types of diffraction, we compulsory discuss about the what is the differences between interference and diffraction. For interference pattern, they need two coherent sources, and both interference and diffraction cases there is a superimposition phenomena is occurring. But in interference pattern, they need two coherent sources. Now the waves which are coming from these two coherent sources are superimposed, then dark and bright fringes are formed. Simply, that is the phenomena of interference. Whereas in diffraction, the secondary wavelets which are emitted from the same wavefront, that is a very important point. In interference, they need two coherent sources, and these two coherent sources emitted secondary wavelets. By the superimposition, we get the phenomena of interference. Whereas in diffraction, there is only one wavefront, that is the same wavefront emitted secondary wavelets. By the superimposition of these secondary wavelets, diffraction phenomena is observed. As we already discussed in the interference chapter, there are dark and bright rings are formed. When you observe the dark and bright fringes in interference pattern, the fringes are equally spaced. That means the gap between successive bright or dark fringes is throughout same. So simply the fringes are equally spaced. Where we observe in the diffraction phenomena, the fringes are not equally spaced. That means they are unequally spaced. As we know, in interference chapter, bright fringes always indicates the same intensity, or they can be named as maximum intensity also. Similarly, dark fringes are named as a minimum intensity. That means the alternative definition of bright and dark fringe can be we discuss as a maximum and minimum intensities occurring in the interference, but it is quite different in a diffraction case. The intensity is gradually or rapidly decreases as it takes place. So that is the main difference between interference and diffraction. That means all the bright fringes are having same intensity, and that is maximum intensity. Here the intensity in diffraction case is rapidly falls and becomes to gradually zero. Comparing the diffraction, it has a large number of fringes, but in a diffraction case it has less number of fringes. Moreover, the main difference between interference and diffraction is, in interference they need two coherent sources, and in diffraction they need same wavefront. So simply, once again I repeat the definition of diffraction means a phenomena of bending of light around corners of the abstractile or spreading of light waves into geometrical shadow of an object is called diffraction, and the intensity distribution on a screen is known as diffraction pattern. When the order of the light wavelengths are very small and effects due to diffraction are not readily observed, if the wavelength is high, the sound wave is very high. Now, what is the condition for diffraction? The main condition for diffraction is the size of the diffraction obstacle is of the same order of the wavelength of the light used. And the diffraction is more pronounced, that means a clear diffraction is observed in the case of as the obstacle size is less than the wavelength of the light. This condition we observed through these figures. When you observe the first figure, here A is called width of the slit. This is the slit, and as A greater than lambda, that means the wavelength of the given light is very small compared with the slit. So when you observe the figure, the initial waves after slit or after obstacle also the same wavelength, there is no change it. That means there is no clear pattern of diffraction. Because of that, as we know the definition of diffraction, simply bending of light rays is called, or bending of light around the corners of the obstacle is known as diffraction. In this diagram there is no bending of light rays. Why? Because that the slit width or the obstacle width is very high compared to wavelength of the light. As the wavelength of the light and the obstacle slit width is same, when you observe this diagram, there is a slight bending of light rays after the obstacle. That means there is a diffraction pattern is occurs. So in the next figure, when you observe that as the slit width is very less compared with wavelength of the light, there is a clear bending of light rays around the obstacle. That means it is a clear condition for obtain a perfect diffraction pattern. So by observing these all figures, there is a conclusion: the diffraction pattern is clear cut form when the wavelength of the light is very high compared with the width of the slit or size of the opening. Then we get a clear picture of diffraction. In the next we discuss about the types of diffraction. Based on Fresnel, the diffraction phenomena can be caused by the interference of an secondary wavelets originating from different points of the or originating from two coherent sources. Generally, the first diffraction was explained by Fresnel. So, and the next developed diffraction pattern is Fraunhofer. So, in Fraunhofer diffraction, the source and screen, where you observe that in the figure, this is the source S and it is the screen, are placed at a infinite distance. In this case, the wavefront which is incident on the aperture or obstacle is plane. Why? Because that generally the source S is at infinite distance. Whatever the source, near the source the wavefronts are maybe cylindrical or spherical in shape. As they move very long distance, these wavefronts are converted as a plane wavefront. Now these plane wavefronts are incident on a obstacle or aperture, or here there is a slit. Then simply these wavefronts are bending around the obstacle. So that's why in Fraunhofer diffraction the main condition is screen or placed at a infinite distance, and also the incident wavefront on the aperture or obstacle is plane. This is a Fresnel diffraction. In the case of Fresnel diffraction, the source, here the source and this is the screen, or placed at a finite distance, that is a measurable distance, and the incident wavefront is either spherical or cylindrical. Because of that, here the source is near to slit, as the wavefronts are spherically incident on the slit. So here is also diffraction pattern is formed. That means the light rays are bending around the geometrical figure. But there is some difference between Fresnel and Fraunhofer diffraction. Then what is the differences between these Fresnel and Fraunhofer diffraction? That will be discussed in the next slide. So, Fresnel diffraction. In the Fresnel diffraction, we use point source of light, or an illuminated narrow slit is used as a light source. If the source is a point, so the light emitted wavefront is in the shape of spherical or cylindrical. For this purpose, we have to take an example of candle. There is a candle, so the light waves which are coming from these are in a shape of spherical and cylindrical. When you place the nearly an obstacle, so the light waves emitted by the point source are in the shape of spherical and cylindrical, and they meet at the obstacle. Automatically after obstacle the light rays are bending, and the secondary wavelets, on the secondary wavelets, each and every point creates a secondary wavelets. By the superimposition of these secondary wavelets, a diffraction pattern is formed. The main condition in Fresnel diffraction is one is point source of light, and also here the wavefront is in the shape of spherical and cylindrical. And this is also an important point. Source and screen are at a finite distance from the aperture for producing diffraction pattern. Whenever the source and screen are at a finite distance, there is no usage of lens. Because of that, there is no conversion of light rays into a parallel beam of rays. So automatically, or for the focusing of light rays, there is no usage of lens. So in this case, that means in Fresnel diffraction, lenses are not used to focus the rays. Because of that, the source and screen are at a finite distance from the obstacle or aperture. So these are the conditions in Fresnel diffraction. That means simply point source of light and the wavefronts incident on the obstacle is spherical or cylindrical. The source and screen are at a finite distance. There is no usage of lens. This is the another type of diffraction, that is Fraunhofer diffraction. It is quite different from the Fresnel. In Fresnel diffraction, we have to take the example of torchlight or candle. In Fraunhofer diffraction, we have to take an example of sunlight. So that is an example of external source of light, and it is also in an infinite distance. So that is the best example. Sunlight is taken as a external source of light. Now the source is in a infinite distance. Generally near the light source, the wavefronts are in spherical and cylindrical shape. As they go a very far distance, these wavefronts are converted as a plane wavefront. That's why the light incident on the obstacle or aperture becomes to plane wavefront. Here the main important point is the source and the screen are at an infinite distance from the aperture or obstacle for producing diffraction. As the source in a infinite distance, to convert the or to focus the rays, here we compulsory use the lens. So in this case, converging lens is used to focus the rays. So totally here in this session, we discuss about the what is a diffraction and what are the differences between interference and diffraction, and what are the conditions for obtaining good phenomena of diffraction. That is, shorter the wavelength is not good for diffraction pattern, as the slit width is very small compared with the wavelength of the light, then a good phenomena of diffraction pattern is observed. And also there are two types of diffraction. One is Fresnel diffraction and another one is Fraunhofer diffraction. So in Fresnel diffraction, there is a point source is used and the wavefront are in a spherical and cylindrical shape. Source and screen are at a finite distance. There is no usage of lens. In Fraunhofer diffraction, there is external source of light. Here we take the example of sunlight, and here the wavefront is in a plane wavefront form. And the very important point is the source and screen are at an infinite distance. There is a lenses are used because to focus the rays due to the source is at a infinite distance. Thank you.